Hey guys, I'm Chef Dean Max. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today, Spaetzle, German noodle, right? It's almost Germany's version of a pasta, right? And we're gonna make it today. It's super simple and I want you guys to try it at home. So click subscribe if you're not doing that already. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video and ring that bell and I'll send you new things I have coming up. So see you in a second with some Spaetzle. German Spaetzle. It's just a simple mixture. It's like a simple dough of egg and flour and milk. So what we want to do is I start off with some all-purpose flour. This is 200 grams of all-purpose flour. This makes a small batch, right? We're going to put a teaspoon of salt, okay? And then we're going to start to put our egg into that. So I've got 2 eggs for this batch. 1, 2, okay? Don't put any shell in there. All right, now I've got that done, but anyway, I'm gonna scramble up my egg here, in there, in the center of this. See how I'm doing that? In a little well, and I'll just kind of keep folding flour in as it goes along. And now I'm gonna start to put a little bit of my milk. So for this, for 200 grams of flour, it's 100 milliliters of milk. So just measure it out, and you guys will have the right mixture. If you want to use a 2% instead of whole, you can do that. I use whole. Okay, I like to have it nice and rich, right? And then you're going to slowly gather all this up until the texture is right. Okay. Now, you see how the texture is like kind of spongy like that, right? Sometimes flours will absorb different amounts, okay? And that's looking like, ooh, that's the thing with some of these, like some of these brands of spatula, right? That's what happens to them. They're just too weak for what you want to do. So I'm going to grab a heavy duty one. I'll be right back. So now I'm back with my heavy duty spatula, or excuse me, whisk, right? And I'm going to whisk this around. And I want this to be kind of, it should be the texture, it should be a little firm, but a little bit more runny than this, okay? So that's actually, you see how it's the texture is kind of droopy, if you will? That's what we want, but we want to mix it good because you can mix it in a blender if you want, if you don't want to kind of work with it. This is harder. You can see how it broke that first flimsy little cheap whisk I had. That's more like for whisking, simply whisking an omelet and that kind of thing. But for heavy duty stuff like this where you have texture, the flour is working against the whisk, right? You know, the elasticity in the flour. So with this, that's what you're looking for. You want it to drip like this. When it drips like that, that's going to create this longer noodle in the water. So you can see, that's it. Now, when in Germany, the old school way is just to cut this on a board. So you put this on a cutting board, the small cutting board that you can handhold, and you would cut that with with either a knife or some type of metal utensil that was flat. You could cut that right into the water, into the boiling water, and you cook your noodle. But I was going to show you guys too, because I know a lot of you have potato smashers at home. We're going to put this in one of our potato presses, our tomato mashing presses, and we're going to press that through. Okay, so I'm going to let this water come to a boil. As soon as that comes to a boil, we're going to press it through here. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I'll see you in a second. All right, guys, the water's come to a boil here, and my batter is nice and kind of elastic. And that's where I want to look. So I'm going to get rid of this now. Tap it like, oops. Don't send batter all across your house. Okay, we're going to tap it like that. I'm going to find that piece of batter because I don't want that sitting around here, wandering around. Because it is flour and water, dehydrates, makes a paste, right? So now I'm going to do this. I'm going to take some of this batter and stick it right into my press here. Let's see how this works out. And I'm just going to press this in. Look at that. That looks amazing, right? Now, what I'm going to do is actually, might as well use all this batter up, right? So I'm just going to put this in. You see how quick this goes, okay? So it does not take long, right? You push it in. So I think, to be honest, I think this is, look how long these strands are going to get. If you even, a lot of times people will push this through a perforated dish, and it's really interesting what happens with that. But look at this. This is like, this becomes beautiful noodle right off the bat. So all you're looking to do is let this kind of float to the top, okay? And while we wait, I'm going to move these things out of my way here, and I'm going to grab another bowl to chill this in, okay? And I'm going to strain this out. After I strain it out, I'll probably rinse it in a little bit of water to cool it down, okay? You can make these noodles ahead of time like this, and then just cool them. And then once they're cool, you can use them at any time, okay? So the noodle looks like it's got structure. Just want to make sure they're cooked good. They only take, like I said, a minute or two. Right? Look at that. That looks beautiful. So let me let that go for a second longer. Give it 1 minute and I'll be back. Okay, it's been 1 minute now. Let's go ahead and take these out like this. These noodles are definitely cooked. Okay. You have these beautiful strands. Now, if you got a couple that are big, like little knobby ones, you want to throw those away, throw those away. We can go through this later and take a look at it. So with this, I'm basically skimming this like this. I'm going to take this out. Now, I want to take the water out of this, and I'm going to show you how we saute this up. So give me 30 seconds. Okay, guys, we're back. I took the water out of that, and I strained my noodles. I have my noodles right here, strained. Okay. Now, I'm going to take some butter, some beautiful butter here, and I'm going to put a nice sheet of butter in there. We're going to let that cook down a little, and we want that to slightly brown. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to take some parsley. I've got some parsley here, and I'm just going to rough chop this parsley really nice and small for our Spaetzle. Parsley seems to be like, you know, the herb of choice for that, or chives. Chives are beautiful. Beautiful winter chives on top of some Spaetzle. It's amazing flavor. Okay. And with that, we just want to, I'm going to grab a spatula here that's got a little bit of parsley on it too. And I want to just move this butter around like this. See it browning there? That's exactly what I want it to do. And I want to add a little salt to that. And I'm going to add a little black pepper to that. Now, if you wanted to add garlic in at this point, this would be a great time to add it in. Some sliced garlic would be incredible. Doesn't need it though. Doesn't have to have it. But this is what we want to do. We want to brown that butter. See that butter browning there? When we put that pasta in, it's going to cool it down just a little bit. So our goal here is to get the nuttiness of the butter. But we don't want it to burn. If you let it just sit there on the bottom burns and it doesn't become equally brown, that's not good either. So it's important that you're scraping this pan now like this and getting all those bits up. Now it'll get black and fast. So you really have to watch it at this point. Now, I'll take my noodles. These have been strained good, and I'm going to plop them in here like this. Okay, I'm going to saute these noodles around. I want to get good butter on them. That's why you have to have a decent amount of butter in there, is because the noodles are going to soak up the butter, right? And you're going to end up with not enough butter in there. You know, it's not good. Now, if you didn't have enough butter in there, you could put some extra virgin olive oil. Nobody's going to complain about that. That's just a little friendliness between the Italians and the Germans, right? And then I'm going to put a little bit more salt on top, okay? And that's it. So our noodles are warmed up now. You don't need to like saute them. They're already cooked. So you can put a little bit, you can saute them a little bit harder. If you want to put a little texture on them, you can. Okay? And then at this point, I'm going to add in my parsley, right? So beautiful parsley. Wonderful winter herb, parsley is. Okay? And that's it. Done. Okay? I'll add this right now to my bowl. And this you could serve with any braised meat or, I mean, any kind of grilled veal, grilled pork, grilled chicken. It's fantastic. If you want to make a nice schnitzel, that's one thing I haven't made in my class, and I'll have to try to make that in the future, is schnitzel with pork or veal or chicken. But, you know, anything like that's going to be great with this. Let's try it. Oh, that's perfect. That is perfect. The noodles are delicate, flavorful. You guys are going to love this. Really good. You see how simple it was. You see how nice that press worked. So if you have one of those for your potatoes at home for making mashed potatoes, that's going to work fantastic. Very simple ingredients. I guarantee you have them in your cupboard right now. So make it, try it, do it at home. Make your friends and family happy. I'll see you back in the kitchen soon. I'm Chef Dean Max.